Another episode of The Cousins. If we late, it's my fault. But
Thank you.
You gonna
I
leave?
was
Look
gonna
at
say
him.
it was my fault anyway. So
Glad you admitted it.
you want if you want problems, we can have problems today.
No.
Listen, you don't want that. I'll be able to shut the show down.
You gonna shut shit down, JR?
Yeah.
You can't shut shit down you don't control.
Oh, I can control it, sir. When you the man like me, you control shit.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Not liking, connecting, and subscribing to.
I'm
What?
anyway. It's what I was saying was because I started my new job and everything. It's all good. Which is why we wasn't here last week because I was tired.
Yeah. It seems to be all about you nowadays. I see. It's all about Jason.
Yeah.
Huh?
Hush up. Do we have to start this every week? Is this how we start every week?
Yes, we got to start with the drama. Don't you watch Love and Hip Hop and Housewives of Atlanta? It's drama. That's what this is.
In,
No, I don't
in,
watch them.
anyway, my new job is going great. I said it's
I
really.
used to watch them, but it's because it's too much. It's drama. I stopped watching.
How about that? We are here for love and light, sucker.
Listen, don't think I won't catch me a plane to Kansas City, okay?
Come on then.
And flatten your tires.
Come on then. Anyway, but Jerry and Mark,
Say it again, Jason.
I think Ma was saying something. Are you on your phone, Ma?
And she's gone.
I was saying it's really it's because I work with I work with a lot of military families.
Oh yeah.
It's like to me, it's still weird when I come across like a Langley or an NAS Norfolk or or a port. Like it's still like that.
Yeah.
Or or I come across an address. I'm like, oh, I know exactly where that's at.
You out here stalking these people over the addresses?
No,
he would never. JR just wants something to say.
He do.
I just keep getting kicked out. I ain't understanding.
Are you on your phone?
I am.
I don't know why that would cause any
I'm
problems.
always.
Well,
I'm
on this
always on my
app,
phone. That's when I do it.
you can't do nothing else. And once you in it, you in it. You try to like back out to read a message or something and kick you right out.
Yeah.
I wasn't trying to back out or nothing. I was just sitting there and it
Did you let your phone? Did your phone go in screensaver mode?
Ma, I don't know what is going on with your phone, but you about to get kicked out again. Watch.
But their phone always do that down there. Their service bad in that house.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, if you ever listen to Jackie's, her do the same thing.
There we go. What the?
Hey, listen to this, Shay. So, today's topic I wanted to talk about. There's a lot of this stuff is going on in the news. We have the impending indictment of President Trump, former President Trump. I'm sure we have a lot to talk about or say something on that. And then I also want to talk about these drag queen laws.
What?
You ever heard about these?
No. Not even gonna lie. Nope.
Basically what they're doing is they're like trying to say I don't know if they have a Hamburger Mary's or something like that in Virginia. But essentially what they are their restaurants where like the wait staff and are like drag queens, and then they have like drag queen story hour and stuff like that.
didn't want to stay.
Let me go
That's
ahead.
your mother.
She already
Hi,
ate.
Jackie.
We wake up naked too.
Ooh,
What in the world is going on?
I did
Hey,
that.
her,
That was my fault.
so her phone was already on mute.
I muted it.
No, her phone was already on mute.
When I muted it,
Yes.
that's weird. Her phone doing things. No, I can't hear you now. Now it says you're on mute. Okay.
So we gotta
But
look at the curtains.
so basically what these laws are saying is that like you can be charged with a felony if you are a drag queen that is anywhere around children.
I don't think these work, Mom.
Oh, okay. What? That sounds real stupid.
If you are anywhere around children, you are a drag queen, you can be charged with a felony. You can be fined up to a felony. And it started in Tennessee, but it's kind of started to spread like wildfire. I think Florida has a law on deck. I know Kansas, both Kansas and Missouri have similar laws that are running through. And there's just kind of this thing that's just happening. Oklahoma just did it. But basically what it's doing is it's saying like, so like there are things called like drag queen story hours, where basically they get local drag queens to go to the library and read books for kids.
Okay.
And it's just all of these things that, and to me, I feel like I personally have never heard of a drag queen. They're saying that it's like grooming kids or it's sexualizing children.
No.
But what's the felony? What's the charge?
The charge
Right.
would be like
You
indecent.
can't say indecent exposure because and they ain't showing nothing.
That's what they're saying.
Indecent exposure is if you naked or showing. How's that
Peeing in
decent
public.
exposure? I mean, if they out there with their titties out and the shit that sometimes they be showing on TV, then I can see that. But other than that, as long as they just got on a dress summit, they ain't decent exposure.
It's if they are in women's clothing, the charge. I think the charges. I can look it up real quick. I'll even give.
When the hell did this law pass? I ain't never heard that before. That's crazy.
It's been going on for the last couple months.
So what's gonna happen with everybody like Bruce Jenner and shit?
Well, Bruce Jenner's not a drag queen.
But he dresses up in drag.
I mean, did he still got all his man parts?
First of all, Bruce Jenner's name is Caitlyn, and although we do not like Caitlyn, we do not, although I don't necessarily see it.
Okay. Well, okay, question. Does he still have all his man parts or did he cut them off?
I think he got a cut.
Jason?
Oh man, I wish Selene was on this phone. I had a question too.
Okay, so the bill that passed in Tennessee restricts what they consider adult cabaret performances in public or in the presence of children and bans them from occurring within 1,000 feet of schools, public parks, or places of worship.
That sounds real stupid. And we said it. They came for the women. They took away Roe versus Wade. Now they slowly but surely making all these stupid ass laws.
Yeah, so an adult cabaret performance means a performance in a location other than an adult cabaret that features topless dancers, go-go dancers, exotic dancers, strippers, male or female impersonators who provide entertainment that appeals to prurient interest or similar entertainers, regardless of whether or not they are performed for consideration. So
I got a feeling that's gonna all change. They're not gonna let that shit go because the LGBTQ community, they're gonna mess around and be protesting all types of places.
I mean, it's already, like I said, it passed in Tennessee, and then there's another There's 9 that are pushing similar bills. So that's let's see what
See,
others.
people always be asking what I need to go out there and vote for. This is fucking why. Now you got
First
people
of
in
all,
office.
the person y'all wanted in office is in office. So don't
Mm,
say that,
I
because
ain't
Trump ain't
no,
say nothing about.
no,
No,
no.
that's not.
These are state
These are
officials.
states.
The
Oh, you talking
people
about just
not
states?
voting on
You
states
talking
because you know
about? Oh,
why? Because they don't push it like they push the
get
presidential.
off of that fucking pillow.
Ooh, mm, well. But the people who we needed to vote out were the ones that were in state office, like
Right.
the governors
Well,
and the mayors and
well, you
stuff.
got to look at it. Some of them states might be Republican states already. So that's like
And
Tennessee. I
that's
think that's a
why
Republican state.
that's
It
why
is a Republican state, but they have, you know what I'm saying, but they have drag queens in the state. And here's my
Yeah, but
and
you and some of them, you gotta remember, you in them redneck towns. So
that's
when you in them type of towns, you get that type of shit. They the same people who keep saying, if you was born a man, no matter if you got a dress on or not, you still a man. You,
but
that's the
these
type of
are
shit
the
they be
ones
playing,
and see, yeah,
huh?
it's a Republican state. But if enough people who aren't scared to vote or who feel like their vote don't matter come out and actually vote,
Well,
you can
it's a
change it.
Republican state, so the majority of them like DC, Maryland, and Virginia are Democrat states. But some of them other states, a majority of them people from that area will vote Republican, and that's just how it is. Like I know people who from rural areas, like in Pennsylvania, and everybody in their town damn near is Republicans.
right.
That's the type of shit you get in some of them areas.
And
So
right,
it
but
ain't no just voting. I mean, if everybody in that town is a Trump supporter, you gonna get Trump. You know, damn near the
and,
whole town come rally with him.
I agree. I agree with you some and that there are, but you also have to I look at it from two different ways. One, what is the reason? Like why all of a sudden are is everybody are they pushing these laws? Why are they saying, let's ban drag performers? Let's like what else is happening?
Well, so if you think about it, it ain't new. They've been trying to do away with it for years. It's just now, instead of it being probably on a federal level, now it's a state level. You see what I'm saying? Because if it's federal, then they're gonna really have a problem. But because the federal don't want to deal with it, now they're leaving it up to like states, individual states to deal with it. So it's their problem. You see what I'm saying?
Well, but I think federally it's not even a matter of that they don't want to deal with it. They have dealt with it. They're like, look, do you know, do basically federally they were like, listen, do you? You know what I mean? Do no harm. It's legal as long as you don't. You know what I'm saying? They're not going to be like they can't say, drag queens are a protected class. You know what I mean? Because technically, like people do drag for different reasons. Some people do it for, because they enjoy it. I know people who do drag simply because they make really good money doing it. Like, you know what I mean? Like they make bank. And
I
so
tell you what, I know since they let these, I'm gonna just say drag queens, since they let this bill pass, and they be so pressed to try to go and get rid of Dave Chappelle. Let's see who backed this shit. And I want to see a whole bunch of people go on TV and start talking shit. Because if you ain't gonna do nothing about that, don't talk shit about Dave Chappelle when he come and just make some jokes.
I mean,
Because the only thing he doing is making jokes.
people are talking about it. There.
Yeah, I don't want him to talk, and I want to see some action.
What the hell you want them to do? Fight? You try to have January 6th again?
Listen, I
They
don't care if they decide to just go and march into Tennessee with their ass out or something. I don't care, but I want to see something.
As long as you ain't out there, don't nobody want to see
No,
that.
I'm gonna be at home watching it on the news. That's where I'm gonna go. But I'm
But
just saying,
I think the other thing is and a lot of when some of the research I've seen, a lot of them are like saying that like that's that whole kids are too young and they don't understand and this and that and blah blah blah. And I get that but I and this is a way that like to they're trying to keep children safe from predators. First things first, I'm gonna say this, and I ain't the foregone on all of that. You know what I'm saying? I'm not the authority on it, but I don't know of any drag queens out here trying to
Nope. Nope.
Not
Nope.
a
Nope.
single one.
But you
Mm-mm.
know what I
Not,
do know?
I ain't never seen it. It's always the motherfucker who live down the street who quiet, don't talk to herself, but stand out
Mhm.
looking out the window at all the kids that they get off the bus, and he ain't got near kid to save his life.
Or the one that's too nice to the kids that's standing up there on the bus stop and they like, hey, you know, I got some,
Uh-huh.
you know.
The one who drive a minivan with no windows.
Or
Yep.
the pastor of the church.
Yeah.
Yeah. Them too.
Oh.
Pastors. Oh, what's the priest? The
Yeah,
You know what
priest.
I'm saying? So I mean, like, if we gonna keep it real, I'm gonna keep it real.
Yeah,
Those
why
are
not?
the,
Why not? Throw that out there, man.
you know what I'm saying? Those are that is what you see when you hear, you know, about people, you know, that children need to be protected from. You don't hear that from drag queens.
Teachers.
What's this one?
You know what I'm
You
saying?
said
And
you
I'm
got
not gonna
teachers
sit back
too.
there and say that it's never happened because I don't know that. But I know that for the most part, that's what I see. And so, like, to me, I feel like the question I've been asking myself is like, what else is going on? You know what I mean? Like, what are they distracting us from? Because this is clearly a distraction from something else. Or
I don't know.
It's just the way that's like sport to score like cheap political points with, you know what I'm saying, the like evangelicals or or like just people like people who are homophobic or transphobic or whatever else, all of those other things. Is like, is that what this is? Because to me, it just doesn't make sense to be, for it to be like, yeah, let's ban drag queens from reading. First of all, half of these people ain't reading their damn kids in the first place. You know what I'm saying? Like, at least somebody reading to the kid. Jerry, are you on the phone?
Yeah, Mona was calling me. She was asking was we on the group. I said, yeah, on the chat. And she said she ain't see it at first, but now she's seen it, so I guess she about to get on.
Okay.
Jackie said they're gonna chime back in after they eat. It's not a convo to have with JD. I don't know. My kids is in the room, so I don't know. I don't care.
Why is that not a conversation to have in the room? Which I don't understand.
I guess because they don't want to answer questions, but oh well.
Yeah, because JD inquisitive, so he gonna want to what are they?
If they don't know how
JD
to
is.
shut the fuck up and get out. Stop ear hustling.
Or answer the fucking question. Excuse me.
Yeah, that'll work.
Well, everybody can't answer. Sometimes you can't answer questions if you don't really have the right answer to give. So it's just, you know what I'm saying?
And you know what? That's when you be like this. Look, I don't know. We just gonna
go ask your Uncle JJ.
Yeah, ask Uncle Jason, or ask Auntie.
Well, Uncle Jason don't fucking know most of the time.
Shut up, Neville.
Listen, well, since we on the
questions, I answer them as best as I could. I be like this. Look, I don't know. You asking too much.
Have y'all? Did you watch 90 Day Fiance?
No.
So it's a transgender on there. It was a girl who used to be a girl, now she a guy. And on the show, he was talking about how he got the.
Hold up. Good job, JR.
What?
This motherfucker here.
Listen,
so on the show,
I'm applaud you for doing the bare minimum.
He was talking about how he got the implant, and so the girl was asking him, well, they was talking about getting a heart. So he was saying, well, not even a pump. You got to he said, his doesn't get hard. He said, but he said if he had the surgery, it'd be like a pipe cleaner where you'll just bend it, the direction you want it, like to go up. You just bend it up and bend it down.
Would not be appropriate for JD.
Right, yeah. That ain't even appropriate for me. What the fuck?
Hey, but this was on 90 Day Fiance, and then he said, well, that's one procedure. The second one is they put like this little tube in the balls and you squeeze them to pump it up. Man, I said, what? I said, like I said, a Reebok pumps. What the fuck is going on?
Right. Penis pumps.
Yeah, but it's in the ball, so you squeeze the balls and then pump it up to go.
Listen, where there there's a will, there's a way. If that's what
Yeah.
you need to do, listen.
I just found that shit crazy.
Listen, people got to do what they got to do. Guys, make sure you're commenting on below. We can see your comments. So make sure you comment below when you see something. Hi, Peyton. So Mona just got here. Mona, just to give you a quick kind of
Rundown.
We're talking about these anti-drag queen laws that are happening in states. And basically why, because as we said, we all kind of said and touched and agreed on that, we don't, they say it's for protecting children and blah 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 this and blah blah that, but the people that I know, when I think of like a pedophile or somebody who would be touching kids, I don't think of drag queens
at all.
You know what I mean? Like it's for me, I look at it, it's one of those things where it's like, why is this happening?
Even on Silence of the Lambs, when Buffalo Bill was in drag, he didn't fuck with kids. He was still kidnapping women.
Listen,
Buffalo Bill was hilarious.
Put the lotion in the basket.
So a Texas state representative said that children witnessing drag shows, which he referred to as indecent exposure, is a slippery slope to the eventual legalization of pedophilia. I don't know what those two things have in common.
That sounds real stupid.
Now, my only thing is, I can say, if you think that the clothes are too revealing, that's one thing. But what does that have to do with pedophilia? If you want to expose children to it, just like with any adult, you want to be mindful that you are in front of children and you should wear the appropriate thing. But that's the only thing that I can imagine that they should have any problem with. As far as accusing someone of being a pedophile because they're a drag queen, it just says that you're not even trying to understand.
Right. Because people do drag, like I was telling them, people do drag for a host of different reasons. Some people do drag because it's self-expression. Some people do drag because the money is good.
Right.
Listen, RuPaul been doing it since the 90s, so that tell you.
Right.
I've been
we grew up with RuPaul,
where men, they performed as men. So I mean, there's so many different kinds. Like, how about you learn and ask questions and try to understand before you jump to, like, I think that's like the default. Even like people try to say that about gay.
Right.
It's not, that doesn't mean the person's a pedophile. Stop being an idiot. Like,
first of all, I'm glad my mom is not here to hear this, but I'm gonna say it. As a gay man,
you're not gonna call her a bitch, is you?
Shut up, nigga. as a gay man, my damn self, what the hell I want a child for?
Yeah, I don't understand why they say that shit like that. Like that doesn't make any sense.
I don't want a little one around me. Never mind.
You know what though? At the end of the day, you got pedophiles of all
types, all genders. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
So you can't single one group out and not single out the old white men that be online paying for
Paying for children.
Predators.
We got Boosie out here. Listen, I'm gonna go ahead and shake the table. We got Boosie out here paying grown women to sleep with his underage children.
Exactly.
What?
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He sure did. I remember that.
Pay what was they? Was they 13 or 14?
I want to say.
God, are you kidding me?
And he paid a grown woman to sleep with his children.
To take his
and she
vision.
did it?
Yes.
Yeah, she did. She sure did.
I mean, I don't care what kind of business you in. You got to have standards, okay?
Listen, I mean, I don't.
If you're going to, get in the business of pleasure, you should still have standards. Like, I don't care what you're paying me. I'm not fooling with no kids.
Well, like, first of all, I look at
kids, animals, all of that. Come on now.
As a person who believes in I believe sex work is work. You know what I'm saying? Everybody got to make a dollar. Do what you got to do.
Right.
I'm saying if that's what you choose to do, who are me to judge on what on what it
Hold
is?
on. Who did you say did that?
Boosie.
I don't think that was true. I think that was
It
like
is,
a
it
rumor.
is true.
Cause I'm gonna tell you, if you wrong and Boosie catch wind of this show, we're gonna have some problems. You might want
I
to
ain't
make
gonna
sure
have no
your
problem.
facts are straight. I mean,
I
I
have
fuck with
never
Lil
had
Boosie.
listen,
I don't think he did that. I would hate to put that out there and Boosie come for us.
I ain't
Cause I
scared of
fuck with
Boosie.
Boosie.
Listen, I ain't scared of that
It
87
ain't him you scared of. It's everybody who want to be around him. That's who you really got to be scared of. The people who want to fit in. That's how life go. The person who the millionaire, you got people who they got the bands, but they want to be so close to him, they do anything for him. That's what you got to remember.
Well, there needs to be fact check on those kind of statements.
Yeah, we're gonna have to check that out.
Let me go
I,
ahead.
I would hate to be wrong on that one.
Hold up. Boosie Badass bragged on Tuesday, this was in 2020, that he hired adult women to perform sex acts on his teenage sons and nephews because he is training these boys
Go,
right.
Jason. Pull
And
up the
how old are?
video.
Because if I'm
They
not
didn't say
mistaken,
they were underage because 18 is still a teenager.
Some
yeah,
is
Jason.
but
young, 12 years old.
Here you go.
I don't
Pull
know.
up the
They're
New
not that
York
young because
Post.
his kids are driving. They have
Right
licenses
there.
and got
It's on
cars.
the New York Post, Jason. Pull it up.
Yep,
So
I'm pulling
JR
it
can
up right
see it.
now.
I think his son is like 20 years old or something now. He's
Yeah,
driving.
Yeah, but this happened.
this happened a while ago.
2020, Jerry.
Yeah,
No,
Boosie Badass claims he paid for sex for 14-year-old sons.
yeah, it says it on the article, JR.
Yeah, it was true.
Okay.
Fact check.
He said it his own self, out of his own mouth. He says the Baton Rouge, Louisiana native took to Instagram to deliver a disturbing, expletive-filled rant. Hell yeah, I got my effing son dick sucked.
I'm gonna have to mess around and
And
call
he's
Vlad
like,
TV.
right.
See what.
Ask any of my nephews, any of them, ask my son. Yeah, when they was 12, 13, they got oral sex. That's how it's supposed to be. Those are from his own mouth. So come over here if you want
You're
to.
supposed to be hit. You. God damn it! What the fuck is going on with this?
I'm gonna put the little thing up here. That way everybody can say, ain't nobody lying.
No, you ain't got to do all that.
That doesn't hold it. That don't make it true just because you found it on Google.
He said it out of his own mouth.
Yeah, because shit on Google be wrong too. So I realized that.
You just now realizing the shit on Google be wrong?
No. Like one time they had Dion Cole age at like 70 years old or something. I was like, how the fuck did Google fuck that up? He was like old as shit on Google. I said, God damn. Now, what was the other thing you want to talk about too, Jason? We ain't got to put the Boosie thing up there. I don't want to think about that. I fuck with Boosie. We was locked up at the same time.
You stupid, James.
Hey, look, it was a dude who was locked up with me that they kept calling Boosie, and I swear to God, if you seen him, you'll say, man, we was all like, is that Boosie for real? We was like, nah, he ain't down DC jail, but it looked just like Boosie.
What the hell happened to the damn host?
How the hell the host back out?
This is crazy.
Fucking Jason.
Jason, it's just me, you, and JR now. It feel like duo or group me.
That's Mona.
Mm-hmm.
What?
It's just us three.
Well, I guess you just gotta lick it up, huh?
What's me? What are you talking about?
Who?
Give her them keys right there,
What are
Shisha.
you talking about?
Mona, who you talking about?
You.
His
You
new.
said that's Mona.
Oh no, because she said it's just me, you. I thought she said Jason and
me, you, and JR.
Jason and Jerry was on duo. That's why I was like, no, that's Mona.
Mm-mm.
Sorry, y'all got cut off for a second there.
Pay your fucking bills.
My bitch.
See, this is a lesson, everybody. Pay your cable on time. Your internet won't get cut off in the middle of the show.
I don't know why I pay you any attention. I don't know
But
why.
wait, you know you can mute him, right?
I
Because
know
I'm funny. I know how to unmute myself.
Not if I'm YouTube.
I log out and log back in every time.
Lord.
Anyway, so hi Jackie, welcome back.
Hello.
So we was just talking about where we left off at. We was just talking about, we still talking about the drag queen thing. But I do have a question for you. Why were you uncomfortable with JD hearing that as a conversation?
Because my child is 8 and then goes and asks questions and goes to school, and then here I am having to try to explain about things that an 8-year-old should only be worrying about cartoons, not about
I agree with
people
you.
and their relationship things, because he ain't even at that point yet.
So would you?
Boom,
let me ask you
Jason.
this. Listen, she just, and this is for both of you that have younger children. Would you be upset about a drag queen story hour?
I don't have nothing to do with a drag queen of any sort of anything. So
You missed.
No, because they were saying that they
drag queen story hour. What is
they
So
were
basically, libraries will like invite a local drag queen to come and read the stories to children.
okay?
And
in drag queen, they come and read a story.
Jason, are you frozen? This nigga frozen. Perfect too. Frozen perfectly. Like he in deep thought.
It is like he in deep thought.
Mm-hmm.
It's okay for him to come back to life so that I could explain.
Is she going to the bathroom again? There's a lot going on in my house all of a sudden. Well, back at it again. It's just 4 of us now.
Can I just tell y'all that since the time has changed, my time has been off. I was sitting on the couch watching TV, and I got up to go to bed. Like at one point, when I first sat down, it was like 8 o'clock or whatever, or at least I thought like 8 or 9 o'clock. When I went upstairs to go to bed, it was almost 2 o'clock in the morning. I was like, what happened?
You better get your ass in the bed.
Yeah, the time seemed like it was like unexpected. Like I wasn't even expecting it to change already, and I was like, "Damn, Shamash, the time go forward." I said, "Shit, I didn't think it was that fast."
Is Jason gonna come back on? Because I want to answer his question.
Yeah, he's coming back. I don't know what's going on.
Oh yeah, I heard
That's
you.
the second time now.
This
Check it out
happened
a second.
before. There he
But
goes.
my problem with that whole thing is how you gonna say a woman can't? I mean, the man can't. They can't do the drag, right? But what about if a woman got the same outfit on? How do you just tell who is who? Like you got some drag queens who look just like women.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
So how does that work? You just gonna start locking women up too for wearing the same outfit?
Well, I think that as with anything in school, if they're dressed a certain, as long as they're not wearing like revealing stuff, if they're coming to read a story, because I know, like, to me, it's like kind of like a character, because when you go to a drag show, they imitate Patti LaBelle, Beyonce, Rihanna, Katy Perry. They like, is it going to be something like that? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, as long as like coming to read to children, but because I'm dressed a certain way, half of the kids not going to know the difference anyway. I mean,
I
I
think
don't.
yeah, because you got some women out here with
Because,
whole mustaches.
because of, I don't know, certain conversations or anything, I know that there are times that I not say certain things around JD because I have started realizing that JD starts to ask what we would call the hard questions. So, for instance, there was a boy a little heftier than most, and because JD asked the boy, was he a boy or a girl?
Now that's another thing. Children are brutally honest, and I
Exactly.
can see a kid and say, "Are you a boy or a girl?"
Right. So his reason in asking, the boy said, why would you ask me that? And he said, because you have those, and those are the same things that my mom has.
Now that's a
Oh, they
lie
must
because
have
you
been
ain't
really
got
small.
those.
No, but they were small. I mean, he wasn't saying they was big. He was just
I'm just
noticing
saying.
that
He was just saying he got them.
he
Okay,
was
because
just
I'm about to
noticing
say.
they were the same age, and that his chest was flat, but the other boy's chest was a little bigger. So, I mean, in my situation, I kind of was just like, well, JD, that's not necessarily the nicest thing to ask anybody. That's kind of rude. But of course, I wanted to know what the boy. I said, well, what did he say? And his response was this. So it's weird because as an 8-year-old, this to me, I don't know if that's what should be a response to
Well,
someone.
we had the same
But
thing
you
at my
know what,
job.
Jackie? I think that it speaks to things that you see on TV and out and about now. Like now, children are very observant, so they see that there are women. They see the interchange because it is out. It's out more. You see it more. People are more open with that now, and so now he's somewhat asking the appropriate question in the way a child would
Would
ask,
ask that question, right?
Right, but
but he's curious.
not have a child in that spot. Let's have an adult in that spot. So now my 8-year-old son, is going up to a man and sees something that a woman has and asking that man questions. Now let's just say that man is a man and is not a woman. Or
I don't think they would have a problem with it. I think they honestly would, because they know how kids are. So I think they would appreciate the fact that the kid would ask them instead of just.
I think some will be okay, some will.
I think some will
Yeah.
be okay, some
I mean,
wouldn't.
but hell,
But I also
I'm
think that like
you know how many times I got mistaken for a little boy and I just had to let that shit roll off my back. Like, well, nah, I'm a girl.
Yeah, we know that pissed you off.
And at this thing, I'm with JD. You got to ask the question these days.
Like, and I wasn't putting you on the spot. I was asking because as a parent, like that's what you are the target demographic that these laws are targeted towards and are saying that's who these are for.
Okay, so then I have this question. Have y'all seen the woman who went to the school board and dressed up as a cat?
Wait a minute.
And
Wait a minute. We furries now?
So listen, she had a point. She made a point. She said, I'm coming to the school board dressed as a cat. I am now a cat. When you look at me, this is what you should see, and this is what you should acknowledge me as a cat. She said, if you're going to go with the kids who are, elementary and middle school ages, and you're allowing them to say that they are female, but they are saying that they are a male, then I should be able to say that I am a cat.
I agree. I agree.
I'm just saying, to
Because
me,
now
I made a
gender
whole lot of
identity,
sense.
so I can identify as what I want. So I've decided to stay with
Hell, I'm identifying as rich. I need my
Now
house.
you just as broke as me.
But
I'm
so I
identifying
think,
as rich. I need my money. Run me my funds.
so I think there's a difference. My issue with that as an argument is that it's a slippery slope argument. If and at what age do children have body autonomy? Like, at what age do they have the ability to say, hey, who I am? Like, at what age do they deserve or should look at gender affirming care? Because I agree with you. I don't think an 8-year-old knows enough to know what their gender identity is, but I do think a 14-year-old would know enough to know about gender identity, what their gender identity is. So what age do we do that at? You know what I mean? And I think for every child that might be something different.
Yeah, I believe for every child is different.
You know, and so the idea of, you know, this
no,
someone
wait.
coming up and saying I identify as a cat, you know, to me, I feel like that's a slippery slope argument. Like, you're saying that to make it sound, you're taking that argument to its most ridiculous point.
Yeah, she is. I agree. She is. But I get her argument. However, what is she trying to convey? Is she trying to say that a person should not be able to say that they are female or male? And if you are allowing that, then why can't I be a cat? Because that's what it sounds like.
So
Right.
so
that's why I said I agree. I mean, if a person, I just think that if you're going to allow it, you have to allow this person to do it. Is it silly? Of course it's silly. You know what I mean? However, this is what making this change does. And because there is no point for it to stop. Now, there was a time when you couldn't say, oh, I'm gay, or I'm a man, I only date men, I'm a woman, I only date women. So,
right, but I think that
you have to, where does this stop? Because initially this will have to keep going.
But I think that I also think that there have always been people who are transgender.
This is not on the podcast.
Yes.
You know what I mean? People that have always they have been around, you know, since forever.
Hey, Jason, you know, just a quick question. Why are you in here twice?
Oh, because if we get cut off again, I can jump on from my phone.
I thought you was with it.
Okay.
So one of it
So,
is muted.
Jason,
That
because
way.
there's always been
So-
transgenders, it should stop there?
Say what?
Because there's always been transgenders, do you believe that it should stop there? And
Well, I feel like because there's always been like basically what these laws or what these things are doing, they're not going to stop people from being transgender.
right, of course not.
You know what I mean? People are still going to be transgender. What it's going to do is, what it does is it makes it so that those people's existence is secondary. Those people's existence their very existence puts them in danger.
I have a question, and this is like you being able to give me some type of information because I don't know. When it comes to, you know, wanting one, I kind of like, and it's just me. There should be an age as to when you should, you know, start to do your whole identifying thing, and I think there also should be a process because for instance, I know for a fact with me being in the military and me having me not having, you know, being super, you know, blessed at the top, if I wanted to have the military to pay for it, I have to get a whole eval done.
Everyone does.
Like from top to bottom. So I'm asking, is that the same thing that is required?
That's the same thing that is required It's called gender affirming care, and it requires for some places, depending on where it's at, it is a years and years of therapy before they even start hormone blockers. Before they even start like the medical transition, it is multiple psychiatrists, multiple therapists. I'll come out in a minute. That go in. Now, mind you, I'm not transgender, so I've not been through it, but I have, I have plenty of friends who are all over the gender spectrum, and so but for a lot of them that are taking hormone therapy and that are going through and doing the testosterone blockers or the estrogen blockers, there's lots of therapy that go into that before they even get to we're actually doing something to change the appearance of your gender. And we kind of asked the same question earlier. Like, I think that, in my personal opinion, and this is just my personal opinion, someone at 8 and 9 and 10, you're too young to me, that is too young to make those decisions.
I'm gonna tell you what somebody said, and you're gonna know exactly who said it. Are we censored?
No.
Okay, so at the age of 14, you don't know if they gonna like or if they gonna like it anyway. So they're saying it is being basically said that they should not be able to their identity themselves because they don't know what they're gonna like.
Well, I mean, for me, I ain't gonna lie, I knew what I liked at 8. So
I believe that too, Jason.
You know what I'm saying? I knew at 8.
Yeah,
I didn't know what it meant.
Knew what you liked then too.
Jason, we knew way before that.
Shut up. Well, I mean, but the thing is that that also
remember that time. Nah, fuck.
That also goes to that question of like, but that then goes to that question of, when is it appropriate? Because I think if I had how different my life would be if I knew that y'all knew and was comfortable having that conversation. Like, where would my confidence level be? Where would how much more secure in myself would I have felt in those rough teenage years? Does that make sense?
Yes. Because you basically thought you had to keep it a secret from everyone, I take it.
Right.
Yeah. And the fact that you had no idea that we
y'all already knew and had already kind of
I just never understood why you felt like we wouldn't understand it when Freddie was gay.
Because Phyllis May.
You might not remember.
You also have to remember that I didn't know Freddie like that.
Yeah, but we knew.
He used to live in our house.
Was for a hot ass minute.
Right. I didn't know Freddie like that. Like, we'd only ever seen Freddie every once in a while. And he was like 8 when I was like 8 when he passed.
Come start it up. It'll bring me in.
So I didn't understand really what any of that meant or anything. I knew that, I wanted to hang out with the girls, but I wanted to hang out but I didn't want to hang out with the boys.
Amen.
Like that. You know what I'm saying? I felt more comfortable in spaces with women.
Thank you.
And, I didn't necessarily know that meant, because, boys made me feel a way. I just knew that I was different. And so, when we circle this back to someone who was trans, if you guys knew that I was gay at 8, can you know that that a child is trans at 8?
I mean, you could have been trans at 8, but we just knew you wasn't comfortable.
I mean, it's
Now, to me, trans and gay is not the
they're
same
not,
though.
they're not the same, but
So
they're
they
not
both
the
are.
same.
Okay.
All trans aren't gay.
Right, because I know quite a few trans women who are gay now.
Yeah, but even still, all of them still they're not all gay though.
Right.
So it's not really the same. So
No,
you can't say, oh, if my 8-year-old child is trans, he might just be gay.
or he
Because
may
just because you're gay, you don't want to dress like a woman.
right, and just because you want to dress like a woman, or
Don't
you
make you gay. Because look at Prince.
yeah,
Prince was wearing blouses back in the 80s.
And heels. Ooh, oh.
Exactly,
but
and
Prince
slept with
wasn't
a
trans.
bunch of women.
Prince
Huh?
was. I would say that if Prince were out now, he would consider himself non-binary. Honestly,
I don't think
I
so.
don't, you know.
Nah, I don't think that. That mug
Prince
was
slept with a lot of women.
straight as an arrow.
Yeah, and he was Jehovah's Witness, so I don't think he would have ever said.
Yeah.
I don't think he would have said it, but like he gives non-binary kind of fluid, sexually gender fluid tease. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah,
Well, you
yeah.
know, he liked to keep himself a mystery, so I think that was all part of his persona.
Right. But it's for me, it's also one of those things where like I don't. The reason that I put the parallel between like my me being you guys recognizing that at 8 in me, and also with the trans thing is we don't know, and I think like we said earlier, it's different for each child. So like I have friends who are 30 and are one of the people that I do comedy with is a 30-year-old trans woman. She just transitioned last year. You know what I mean? And was just like, he didn't realize they were different or what she was feeling was different until someone put a name to it because she grew up small town. And that was not allowed. That was not okay. You know what I'm saying? And now moving to a place where that is okay and there's a name for it and all of that. I think there's a lot of what we feel uncomfortable with is because there are names for things that we didn't have names for before, or we didn't know the names of before. Does that make sense?
Aren't those names created by someone who I don't think that's what was uncomfortable because it didn't have a name to it. I think most people were uncomfortable because you were chastised and your parents were heavily into the church, in the Black community. Man's supposed to be macho. I think it was those things more so than names.
Right, but I think that when I had a friend of mine who is non-binary, female leaning. There's a name for it, female presenting, and was like, I didn't understand. I knew I didn't feel like a boy, but I knew I didn't feel like a girl. And everything that I was feeling didn't like nothing made sense until someone said non-binary, and then it was like a light switch clicked off.
Gotcha. Okay.
You know what I mean? Like it's that. I think that like in the case of like people being gay, there is very much that like, especially being raised in the church, being having very masculine, macho kind of men in my family who didn't recognize or didn't see me as who I am, and were trying to push me to that same masculine thing because that's what they do, and that's what boys are supposed to do. If I had known then what I know now about how everybody in the family would have embraced me and all of that stuff, it would have made a difference. And so I think for someone who is trans, and again, I can't speak for trans people, but I think that having that, it doesn't matter what you identify as, you are my child and I love you.
Right.
Would mean a lot. And then having being able to be who they are and feel comfortable who they are in their own skin does a lot for your self-confidence. And so to me, you know, if I look at like, okay, well, like, because I'm of two minds. Do I necessarily think the drag queen should be reading stories? Look, if anybody wants to read stories of these badass kids, let them do it. You know what I mean? Like, somebody let them do it. But I also think that they're, you know, the other side of that coin is, you know, exposing. I don't necessarily think exposing children to the LGBT community is a bad thing. And maybe it's because I'm in the community of letters. I don't think it's a bad thing. I think the more we show children that there are different types of humans, that child becomes more well-rounded and is able to deal with more things that come in life. Because they're gonna deal with them at some point. They're gonna grow up and gonna have to deal with people of different races, different colors, different, you know, gender expressions, different sexual identities. And yeah, are some of those questions hard? Sure. But, you know, if you have the resources to say, I can't answer that question, but let me find out and, you know, get that information, then I think, to me, I think that children would be better for it. Does that make sense?
I get what you're saying.
But I don't want to spend the rest of the time because I also want to talk about this Trump indictment.
Nigga, that was 55 minutes of that shit. I'm fucking with. Now you want to change. What you want to talk about now? Let's talk about Trump.
That's what we was going to talk about. So, you know, your president going to jail, JR. How you feel about it?
Whoa. I only like him because the gas prices was down.
You stupid. That was the only.
I had the gas of the day. It was like, fuck, man, we need somebody back in office.
Mm-hmm.
What was you saying, though?
Do y'all think that he's actually going to go to jail?
No.
Okay, hold on. Well, did you hear about him saying that he wanted people to protest if he get locked up?
Yeah.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, he did.
Why am I not surprised? And then say I didn't tell them do that.
I bet you they ain't gonna jump that motherfucking Capitol building again. I guarantee you that. That shit ain't gonna go down like that ever again.
You know, security is much tighter at the Capitol building for this event.
He's trying to have them go to
come up in
New
there.
York.
He's telling them to jump it. They dumbass is going to jump.
No, they ain't doing that no more. They let that shit go the first time.
The Capitol this time.
Yeah, they're gonna get shot, but before they
gonna tell them shoot to kill. They're gonna have the army there, the Marines there.
They in New York, so he tried to tell them to go to New York. I say go ahead and fool with the the NYPD if you want to.
Yeah, New York got a lot of police. They ain't gonna play what you need.
They will shoot you, and they won't care.
Shoot, you ain't not just the police, the community will get that cutting up out there.
Right.
Yeah.
Don't you come in here.
I mean, my thing, the fucking Capitol should have done that. You know, it should even got to that point where they was able to get to that, you know, get that far. But you would think the Capitol is one of the
inside help. That's why.
Right. Yeah, you would think the Capitol is one of the most secure places. That's like if he tell them go down to the White House. What the fuck out of here? You're not gonna be running up in the White House lawn like that.
He want to go to the White House because he was still living there.
Inside the Capitol. That was why they were able to do it.
Yeah, they was in there ransacking the place too.
Listen, but like to me, I don't think that anything is gonna come of this. I think they're gonna figure out some way. He's gonna find some way to slither out of this one too.
Listen, I'm gonna tell you like I said before that I read. You know how hard it is for a president or ex-president to go to prison. He will not go to prison. They're gonna sweep it under the rug or make him pay some fines, but he would never go to prison. He would damn near have to kill somebody in order for him to go to prison. That's about pretty much the only way a president will ever be locked up in prison.
Yeah.
And that is a fact. You cannot just throw a president in jail like that. I don't give a fuck what he stole. but they'd make him pay some fines
A
and
white
probably give him community service, some dumb shit. But he would never go to
Yeah.
prison.
Say it again, Mona.
a white president.
There you go.
'Cause
Yeah.
if Obama had acted like him, if President Obama
And acting like him,
Oh
President
my
Obama
God.
would be under the jail. It would have been, we should have never gave you niggas money.
wait, we gotta go up.
and then
Yeah, I read that.
that the
Huh?
Obamas were very intelligent. They were lawyers. Both of them.
Yeah, see, Trump problem is he got money. So when you got money, you already assume that you could do whatever the fuck you want anyway.
Yep.
And plus, he knows the laws. That's why he able to get away with the shit he do, like the tax shit. You notice you ain't hear nothing about the taxes ever again.
Yeah, you right about that one.
But how you get into the White House on taxes?
No, you know how many times that mother filed for bankruptcy?
7 times.
Like, yeah.
Well, you can file.
Bankruptcy does not get you out of paying taxes.
No, but I mean, for somebody who's supposed to be running the damn country, you can't even run your own finances.
Well, hold on, because just because they file bankruptcy, they ain't broke. They be having $50 million
Yeah.
and they file bankruptcy.
That's how you save your money. By
Right.
filing
Exactly.
bankruptcy.
Shit, I want to file bankruptcy.
Yeah. Filing bankruptcy don't mean that's how we save money. You got to have
Yeah.
No, I'm
far
talking
more
about
money than we do.
big businesses.
Yeah. We file bankruptcy, it means we broke.
Like Bill Cosby filed bankruptcy in like what the 80s or something, but he had millions of dollars up still. So it wasn't like he was broke. They just do it because something that they was dealing with wasn't going the way they wanted. So it's easy to file bankruptcy and wash it away.
It's to save your assets.
Yeah.
And so that they can't come.
So
And-
okay, so y'all saying that, but do y'all really think that y'all don't think it don't make a difference because this man filed bankruptcy 7 times? If they would have filed a part of a bankruptcy application on Obama's in his damn life, what do you think?
Oh, there ain't no way they wasn't giving Obama no bankruptcy.
No, if he'd have had like they, well, it looks like you filed. You tried to file bankruptcy. Nah, we don't need you.
They would have made him
Yeah.
listen. They'd have been like, well, if you're gonna file bankruptcy, you're gonna have to go ahead and give up the presidency because you can't be trusted with money. Obviously.
Or just owing tax money. How you get into the presidency owing tax money, and the day after you got I think the inauguration or got in office, he had to go to court because he was trying to not pay an electrician for doing work at the Trump's house. I remember that because I was like, damn, that's fucked up because I'm an electrician. The first thing I said was, wow, he owed this man money and he wasn't trying to pay him. So he had to go, the dude had to take Trump to court.
It's a daggone shame. You got to take the president to court.
So what?
Wasn't it a couple people he didn't pay?
It's a
lot of people.
He always tried to figure out how he was gonna get out of paying them.
So what he does is like with the electrician. Like let's say you tell him, I'm doing this work for $1 million, and he said, okay, well here's 300,000 to get started. And you're like, okay, then here come the end of the job. You finish. You looking for the rest of your 700,000. He like, well, here's another 100,000. We'll call it even. You're like, fuck no, that's not what we agreed on. We agreed on $1 million. And he just like, oh well, what you gonna do about it? That's how he was carrying it to everybody. He did the same shit to every single person. They give them a price. He gives them what he wants to give them and walk away because they're done with the work. But see, me, I would have been smart enough to know, nigga, I need all mine up front or 90% of it.
Then he wouldn't have went with you. He would have went with somebody.
Probably not, but I would have been not going. I would have been doing the bare minimum work. He would have been got all used shit. I would have been going down to the pawn shop. Let me get that light right there.
Not every time. Listen, not every time we turn the light on, everything blow up.
Yeah, should be halfway working. It'll work just until I hit the switch outside.
Like, why is there water running? He trying to turn on the lights and the water falls.
You let the water start running when he turn the light on. That daggone JR and company.
Then he be trying to sue JR.
Right. And he gonna sue you for $3 million for shoddy work.
That's all right. I just go hit the right switch and make it all come back on.
Not you gonna go in there and make me like, I don't know what you're talking about, sir. Everything working fine. Now where's the rest of my money? You know, and it's
and then they'll say, I'll come look at it for the rest of my money and a fee.
Right, because you done made me come out here twice.
Yep.
The crazy part is when we do this kind of work we doing, you got what's called a year warranty. So if something go wrong within that year, you best believe that now he gonna end up spending money to pay somebody to come figure out what's the problem because the person's not gonna get there because they didn't get their money. So he gonna be spending money regardless.
No, I would be warranting you to death. It's
not. I'm gonna get on your nerves. You hear me? I'm every day. This is your morning call. Come fix my shit.
Right.
Yeah.
Hi, mommy.
That's your president. Y'all voted for him.
We didn't vote for nothing.
Well, we know I didn't vote for him at all.
Well, that's because you can't. I voted for.
First of all, I could vote.
Jason, that is not true.
Oh, you can vote, JR?
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, why you ain't vote then, nigga?
I just don't vote.
Right.
So you were actively part of the problem.
If you don't
No,
vote,
because
you're the reason why he got in office. If you didn't vote.
because DC, Maryland, and Virginia always vote Democrat. So my vote, it doesn't matter anyway. Yeah, we do. We're a Democratic state.
Virginia has only started voting Democrat like heavy like that in the last couple of elections. It ain't always.
Well, I don't live in Virginia, but Maryland and DC always vote Democrat, buddy.
Don't y'all got a Republican governor right now?
Maryland was a Republican.
What'd you say?
The governor of Maryland was a Republican.
He was a Democrat.
He was a
no,
Republican.
he was not.
He was hold on. Yes, he was. Governor Hogan. You better Google it too, because he was a Democrat with Republican views. He was fucked up. He ain't even in office no more.
Hold on, no, because see, what we not gonna do around here, we deal with facts and not fiction. So give me 2 seconds.
Well, he ain't the governor no more.
No.
And then he got a black dude.
I could have sworn the governor of Maryland was a Republican.
The governor of
He might have been
was a Republican.
Yeah, he was a Republican, but he had some people liked him because he had some Democratic views. I had it backwards because my foreman, he's a Republican, and he used to be like, well, I don't like Hogan because he's a Republican who got Democratic views. That was his problem with Hogan. So a lot of Republicans didn't even like him.
He was a right is right, wrong is wrong type of person.
Yeah, but Republicans don't like that.
No matter what, I'm a Republican, but right is right, wrong is wrong. That's why when he shut down Maryland, and then everybody was mad at him because they was like, well, they're opening stuff back up. No, the second time he kept it closed, but then the third time, what he said was he's leaving it to the county delegates, which is right, which makes sense. Because
and now they got his ass about office.
You have to look at the demographics of the area. PG County was predominantly black. Charles County is leaning towards that because they got rid of a lot of the affordable housing in PG County and in DC, so they've been moving to Charles County. So he left it up to them because in like La Plata, they opened back up. Also, Brooke said, "No, we're not going to do that."
I would be interested to know what the COVID rates look like after they open back up. Because I know here after they open back up, them things skyrocketed. You hear me?
It did down there too. Even when they opened back up, they started having a lot of outbreaks, and so it didn't. I mean, that's how it was,
Because they said COVID restriction was over. Everybody thought they was out there partying.
Even when the government was closing shit, then they opened back up, it started skyrocketing again. So but the government said we'd never close like that ever again.
They won't. Which to me is a shame.
Because they lost money.
They lost money.
Yeah.
When the government is closed, the government loses. I had a document where you can look it up, Google it, and tell you how much money the government loses when it's closed for a day.
They lose. It's a lot of money.
It's so much money. And that's why they're allowing people to work remotely, telework, all of that. Because, during the pandemic, before the pandemic, if I had to work Like if the government closed, I still had to work because I was on the telework agreement. So the government might be closed for weather, but I still had to log on my
but you gotta log in.
Why
And
at first it sounded like you said telegram work?
You know, I was shut up, JR. I work with scientists. They used to be at work.
Right. Because somebody had to go in there, because you was working for the CDC, so somebody had to figure this shit out.
I wasn't working for the CDC. I just work for the government, Jason.
Okay, yeah. Man, I knew you worked for. I don't know who you work for.
Yeah, just the government, the U.S. government. Like the man called me, the one of those telemarketers called me, telling me some. This is John. I work for the U.S. government.
No, you've been like. So do you? What department, boo?
But
Tell
that's
me
what
what
I said.
department
I was like, really? What agency do you work for? He said, I work for the Division of Finance, something like that. I was like, oh my God, I work there too. What's your name? I'm about to look you up in Global. So then he said, I work for the U.S. something. He said some other agency. I said, now, wait a minute now. You told me you work for finance. Then you need to make up your mind.
You got to figure out which one you work for.
He said, I'm going to say to you, fuck you.
Listen, they get so mad when you call them out. I'd be like, language, friend, language.
Oh no, I cussed him out. I called his thing little. I called it a PP size. I said all kinds of stuff.
Oh, you was out here. You was just talking reckless.
He hung up on me. So now when they call me and they ask me where I work, I tell them I work for the CIA or I tell them I work for the FBI.
But damn.
And they hang up immediately. They hang up immediately. Because they wrong. Because what they're doing is wrong.
You said who is that? That's the telemarketers or the ones that be saying you owe us?
Scammers?
Yeah.
All of them. I say to all of it. Anytime they ask me, where do I work? That's what I tell them.
I shouldn't be saying that. Sex work.
That's actually probably illegal to say.
But I'm like, now be
anything
careful.
to get them off my phone.
I'm gonna start talking about working sex work. I got an OnlyFans.
What?
Who got an OnlyFans? What you picking up cake with your butt cheeks?
Oh my God! Damn it, JR. Jason, you kind of walked into that one.
You call yourself Chocolate Drop?
I don't even know why I don't even know why I said that. I have no idea why I said
I don't either.
I knew in my head. As soon as I said it, I said this ain't gonna end well.
Yeah, but you did that to yourself, Jason.
Yeah, what? Well, Jason, but you're not answering. Do you?
No, girl.
Hey man, you know, to each his own. We gotta make our hustle somewhere.
Listen, if I had one, it'd be scrolling right down the screen.
Oh my God. That's nice.
Right down the screen.
Nobody want to see your chocolate ass picking up vanilla cake with your butt. Okay, leave that shit to somebody else.
I need to understand.
Why
Listen,
you
I want to understand why you are so specific with it.
Well, we don't want to see you playing your feet in no cupcakes and shit. Now,
why are you so specific with it, JR?
Right.
It sounds like JR been on some OnlyFans. Why?
Right.
No, I'm my own OnlyFans.
You right. You are your only fan.
Siobhan, my fan.
Nah,
ask her again.
Right.
I want to hear her say it.
We need to hear her say it.
I got my headphones and she can't hear y'all.
Yeah. She don't know no better.
She don't know no better. Bless her heart.
No, I'm not a fan.
Look, Shay says she don't know no better. She ain't got no black card.
Not you to revoke the black card.
We revoked that joint like 15 times so far.
Right.
She ain't seen Friday the 13th. Not one of them 13 damn movies.
She ain't seen Friday the 13th.
No.
And it's 13 of them.
Wait, what is she, 12?
Look on my one he might have a ball in there. I ain't seen Friday the 13th either.
But yes,
You
you
ain't
have.
seen none of them, Deborah. I don't believe that.
Deborah, don't get that close no more.
Deborah, I love you to death.
Why the hell did she put the phone in her mouth to talk?
I wanted you to see my gums.
I'm
What?
good.
That
I'm good.
I have
was
not seen
nasty.
Friday the 13th.
You
Mom,
ain't seen none of them. They've been out
yes, you
since like
have.
'79.
That movie been out since 1980. You have seen Friday.
I have
Friday
not
the
seen.
13th.
You know, I don't watch scary movies, so you know I ain't seen it.
But that's the only reason. But if you did, you would have. But you've seen all the other movies. You seen Harlem Nights. You haven't seen that.
Yeah.
Dre, that's
Didn't
not a
see
scary movie. And Siobhan seen Harlem Nights.
how long ago, Jr.
But that
Yesterday.
recently, right?
Last,
After you showed it.
How long ago?
last
Yeah,
month.
that
Because
was
he had
recent.
to ask her. He had to ask. You seen Harlem
I
Nights,
ain't
right?
seen none of what's the little man, the man with
Oh,
the hat.
Chucky. Oh,
I ain't
Freddie?
seen that
Michael
either.
Myers.
Oh, you talking about Freddy Krueger?
No, she's talking
Yeah,
about
I
Michael
ain't seen
Yeah,
that
Myers.
one
he's
either.
scary.
I
He's
ain't
funny.
seen that one either. I
Way
don't
more
watch
funny than
scary
me.
movies.
What a sucker.
The last time I saw something that even looked like it was gonna be scary was Outer Limits.
Was who?
Outer Limits.
Oh my God,
Oh,
that was
you
in the part.
you would have shit on yourself if you watched Candyman back when it came out.
Nope,
Man,
didn't
That is
watch
still
that.
scary.
JR, did you see the new Candyman?
I saw a little bit of it, not really. I remember the old one, so I ain't want to watch the new one.
Right. I don't watch none of them.
Candyman was like scary.
Mom,
They
Okay.
did you
had
watch
everybody
Get Out?
scared. Siobhan still to this day without letting me cut Candyman on in the house.
I wouldn't either.
If I go in the bathroom when she in there playing and I cut the lights out, start screaming Candyman, she's screaming and run out.
I listen. I do the same thing. I don't like that. That movie scares me still as an adult.
Yeah, that's because he was the only one that came in the hood.
So when a Leprechaun came in the hood too.
That was different.
have y'all ever watched?
That was like Selene coming in the hood. That was
Have y'all
that was
ever
different.
watched? It's this black sketch comedy. It was on Netflix. They only had like one season, but they was interviewing this dude, and they was like, "Yeah, you saved the neighborhood. You know this, and that. Like, how did you do it? He killed so many people." He was like, "I am a 6 foot tall, 250-pound black man. He was a 3 foot tall dog. I kicked his ass." And then the leprechaun came, and everybody running, and he booted his ass too. And it was like,
Listen, Leprechaun in the Hood is hilarious.
oh my God, that joke was hilarious. He said, I kicked him.
I
But
kicked
you
him.
weren't afraid. He said, he's a doll. No.
Right.
All right, y'all. Well, we're gonna jump off of here because my food is ready and I'm hungry.
Really? That's how you do it?
Well, listen, y'all can stay up. What we realize is that y'all can stay on as long as I want to.
I'm okay. I'm all right. Goodbye, everybody.
All right.
Goodbye, guys. It was always fun. We'll be back next week with some more.
Maybe we might be back next week.
I know. We never know.
Listen,
Are you frozen?
what I realized today is even if I'm not here, y'all can be here.
You liar. Now you tell us.
Aunt Deborah, you muted.
Are you muted?
We
When
see
I
your gums.
came on, wasn't nobody in there, and they wouldn't let me in. They kept telling me I'm backstage.
That was the
That's
old
because they
one.
was waiting to put your teeth in.
Yeah.
JR.
I had my teeth in. I took it out just for you.
Oh, okay. Well, thank you.
Y'all are crazy. All right, y'all. Thank y'all for watching. Good night. God bless y'all, and we will see y'all next week.
All right.
Oh hell, I forgot we were still live. Damn you, JR.